This is Taiku number 157, the 157th Taiku in the Babylonian Talmud. We're almost at halfway. There are, according to the book by Rabbi Aharon Yoshua Pessin, there are 317 Taikus in the Babylonian Talmud. So 158 is half of 316. And so 158 and a half would be half of 317. So I might make a mention of it tomorrow, and maybe the next day. It's like 317, 318. This project was started on June 20th. Officially, actually it was June 19th, but the recording was published on June 20th. It was recorded on the 19th and published on the 20th. And it's all the unresolved questions in the Babylonian Talmud. This is the 157th Taiku, and it appears in Tractate Bava Batra, page 53b, according to that book, by Rabbi Pessin. And here it is. Bava Batra 53b, the words liknos osa ves chaverta. Liknos osa ves chaverta, oisa kana chaverta, loikana, liknos es chaverta, avoisa loikana. If his intention was to acquire it and also to acquire the other field, he has acquired the first field, but has not acquired the other field, since the fields are separated by a boundary. If he took possession of one field in order to acquire only the other field, he has not acquired even that field of which he took possession, since his intention when taking possession was to acquire the other field, and one does not acquire an item without the intention to do so. Boyer zero, hechzik bachas behen liknois oiso, v'esametzer, v'eschaver tamahu. Mi amrina metzer da'ara chadu, bekane, odilma, Rabbi Zera raises a dilemma. What is the halacha if one took possession of one of the fields in order to acquire it, and the boundary and the other field altogether? Okay, Rabbi Zera is asking, what is the halacha if one took possession of one of the fields in order to acquire it, and the boundary and the other field altogether? Do we say that the boundary of the land is one, meaning that these two fields are joined by a means of their common boundary, and therefore he has acquired all of them, or perhaps his field stands alone, and that field stands alone? Does the boundary count as part of the other thing? I'm not sure how big the boundary is, doesn't say, but he just says generally. If he took possession on the fields to acquire it and the boundary of the other field. Well, whatever the case is, they didn't have an answer, and they felt that it was so difficult to answer that they left it unanswered. And the tradition is that we must wait until the Messiah comes. And when the Messiah comes, you would think that the Messiah answers the question. But the tradition is no, that Elijah the prophet answers the question. I often wonder about that. Why is it that Elijah answers and not Messiah himself? Isn't it Messiah the ultimate Torah teacher? I'm not saying Elijah is, anything less than should be, but Messiah is the Messiah. Why is... He gets very little press. It's very like, when the Messiah comes, and that's it. Elijah, that's who we're talking to. This has been my own personal take for a long time.